been a long time. I know it's been a long time. And I'm sorry if you are someone who watched my channel consistently before and then you're like, what happened? Where did she go? I'm still alive. I'm still here. This is a little bit crooked. Let me fix it. It's gonna drive me crazy. There, that's a little bit better. Okay. I don't always wear glasses. I wear them when I'm driving, but I just want to show you them because I think they're kind of cute. I kind of like them. So I don't need corrective eyewear in order to drive legally or anything. But I went to the eye doctor just because I thought, you know, it's a good idea if you have the ability to get your eyes checked to do so periodically, because certain different types of diseases can be detected by eye exams or different conditions. And also there's a degenerative vision condition that runs in the family. So I thought, well, let me just make sure, you know. It turned out that I had, you know, the usual age-related like visual imperfections, I guess, but also found out that I have like slightly, the vision in my right eye was slightly not as good as it was in the past, and I have a little bit of an astigmatism. It's a very, very low level prescription, but the doctor said this could help you avoid eye fatigue. And I was like, well, with what I do, that's pretty important. And I was talking to her about that, and she said especially driving in the dark, and I was like, oh yeah. And I definitely noticed a difference since I've been wearing them. I even got the corrective sunglasses too. So yeah, I've been not making videos for a while. And I'm waiting to load right now. I'm waiting for some loading numbers, so hopefully those will come through soon. But I had a little bit of a window in which I could record, so here I am. And I've tried to make videos a few times, and every time I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, you know, because it's just been a long time. Earlier this year, if I'm telling you this right now, it's because I talked to my mom first and she gave me clearance to discuss this. But basically, earlier this year in March, end of March, my mom fell and broke her leg, and then suffered very serious complications after that, a number of complications. She was in the hospital for, I think, 5 weeks, and at least three to 4 of those weeks were in the surgical ICU. It was really harrowing, and as many of you know, it's very hard to see your parent go through something like that. And I'm really, really grateful I was able to be with her every day for a lot of that time that she was in the hospital. And it was hard to go back to work and like think about her, worry. You know, I knew she was in good hands, and I have the best. My roommate is pretty much a family to me. Hi Robert, I love you. I don't know what we would do without him. He's everything. We were roommates for years, and then I moved out because I was living in a truck full time and saving money and trying to pay down debt and stuff. And he had a different roommate that moved in for those few years, and then as soon as that roommate was moving out, I'm like, I'm moving back. So I'm really excited to be back in my old apartment. I realized that for me, it's better when I go home to have roommates than to live alone, because I had a studio that was right by the beach. And I was, you know, you guys know me, if you followed me for a while, I love the water. I'm obsessed with the water. I love the beach. I do cold therapy in the winter months. Like, I'm obsessed with it. It was a great location, but the studio was super tiny for what it was. And I realized that when I go home, because my work is so isolating, I don't want to not be with people. So I'm much happier when I go home and I get to be with my friends and sit and have dinner and shoot the shit. It's great. So I'm really grateful for that. Part of what motivated me to make this video was I ran into a viewer yesterday, and she was super sweet, and she told me her name, and as soon as I was in my end of day brain, and I forgot your name if you see this. So thank you though, because this person was so sweet and motivated me to be like, just make a damn video already. So yeah, I just been working hard, you know, just grinding away as one does. And I always think of stuff, I'm like, oh, I could make a movie. I could make a video talking about this or talking about this. Well, there's one thing I'll share with you that's like a cute story that happened. I'm getting a phone call, so hang on, I'll be back. Alrighty, I'm back. Anyway, okay, so I'll tell you a cute story that happened recently. So I was thinking about this, and in my mind I was like, oh, it was a few weeks ago. No, I think this was like probably 2 months ago now. And time moves so fast, I don't even know. I just never know like what day it is, how much time has passed. I have no concept of time. So I was driving early one morning in like northwestern Illinois. I was heading into Iowa for a pickup. and the sun was just coming up. I love that time of day. I love like early morning driving. As long as I can drive in the dark as possible, I'm going to be the happiest, because, you know, no sun cooking me through the windows of my cab. So driving along, and all of a sudden I see 4 pretty big dogs just trotting down the sidewalk together in a little pack, like they took themselves on a walk. Okay. And I don't know my dog breeds as well as I should. I'm a total dog lover with aspirations to have a future sunset career that involves dogs. That's another story. I'm obsessed with dogs. But anyway, I think they're Labradoodles. Side note, I saw like it was some dumb story, like a throwaway story, but it was saying something about how the person who originally bred the first Labradoodles said it's the biggest mistake of his life or something. I don't know. Anyway, these dogs are just running down, like just trotting down the street in a little group, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. And it wasn't a super busy time. Traffic hadn't started to pick up yet, like the morning traffic, and it was like kind of a quiet neighborhood, a quiet town. It was like it was near Rockford, Illinois. So I pull over and I call the police as I'm pulling over, and I'm like, hey, there's 4 big dogs that are just like running along the side of the street here, and I'm worried they're going to get hit. Is there any way that, you know, you could send someone to like wrangle them, help me wrangle them or whatever? And they're like, oh yeah, we'll send somebody. I'm waiting, and I didn't know what to do, but I tried to call the dogs over, and they came to me. At least they all came towards me. 2 of them came right up to me. 2 of them were like, I don't know about this one. They stayed back. And the 2 that stayed back ended up, one of them turned around and was like, I'm going over here now, and just took off and was like, ran across the street. And there wasn't a lot of traffic, but there was like at least a couple of trucks that went by during that time. So I was like, this sucks. Like, I was really worried about these dogs. And the 2 that came, they stayed with me, and I was like petting them and just like trying to get them to stay by me. And then this lady pulled over, and at first it was a black car, and I thought it was a police SUV, but it wasn't. This lady pulled over. She's like, I saw them running down the street. And I was like, what's going on? She was on her way to work. She was one of these rare people that leaves early for work. So she was running early. She's like, I can stay for a little bit. I'm running early. This was like 6:30, and she had to be to work at 7. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. But anyway, so she was a dog owner herself and was able to get one of the dogs to get in the back seat and just sit in there. And so I'm going to share these pictures of these couple of dogs, and the one that's sitting in the car is the one that, it was so sweet, just such a sweetheart, and was like giving paw and clearly had obedience training of some kind, you know. And then the other one was just like staying like laid on the ground, and they were thirsty, and you could tell they had been loose for a while, and they just, cause they were really dirty, like their paws were dirty, like they had just been, you know, just trotting around for a while. We're like, what is taking these police for so long? And I actually called back, because we were in a small enough town. I knew it wasn't like, I wasn't trying to like pester the police, but I was like, are they coming? So I called back, and they're like, oh, we were just doing shift change, so it's taking a little longer, but we'll send somebody over. So someone did end up showing up, and they had leashes with them, and I was like, thank God. And we didn't have anything except I had this Pyrex cup I have in my truck. I put water in that, and I was giving them water, and they were like taking it eagerly, you know. So that led me to do something that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and I was like, if I had these handy, I would have felt better. So on my recent Walmart stops, I grabbed these. I grabbed a couple of leashes. I just got 2, because what are the odds I'm going to come across 4 dogs again? And I set them up so they're right behind my seat and easy to grab, and then I put on each one a big collar and a small collar for different size dogs, because it's a helpless feeling. It's not the first time I've seen strays, but like, especially, I'm sure many of you know, if you're traveling down south, there's a lot more stray dogs down there. At least I've noticed that. But it's the worst feeling to like recognize that there's a vulnerable dog if you're a dog lover, and you want to try to help them, but you have no way to hold them if they come to you, which is occasionally they will. But in order to help incentivize them coming to me, I got some treats. I don't even have a dog right now, but I got some treats. Peanut butter treats. They can't resist that. And I got a little collapsible dog bowl for water. They didn't have any bigger than this. It's a little smaller than I would like to get, but it's like, at least it's handy. It doesn't take up too much space. So I figure if I come across a dog that needs assistance, I will be able to help, and that's great. That's a really good feeling. So I've been meaning to do this for a long time, and after this experience, I was like, okay, let me be better prepared if this happens again. Because I just think about what a sad situation it would be if, for the person who might hit a dog and very badly hurt a dog or kill the dog with their vehicle because the dog is just being a dog and just runs out into the street when it could have been prevented. So anyway, what ended up happening, FYI, is because I was texting with the lady. She was so cool, and we were just chatting, and I was like, oh, give me your number so we can like find out, you know, you can tell me what happens. Because she was reaching out to people on Facebook and posting pictures of the dogs and stuff, and since she lived in the area. And she told me later that the two dogs that ran off ran back home. They weren't that far from home. Actually, no, I got that wrong. One of the dogs ran home. There was a black one, a tan one, and two like cream colored ones. The black one went straight home. The other one that took off, they didn't get that dog home until hours later. So she just took herself on a little walkabout. And the other two dogs, obviously, they were able to take them home right away. And that's another thing too, is just like it's another reason why it's not a good idea to have dogs even in your backyard without a leash or without a collar on. But anyway, all's well that ends well. They made it home safe. So I just thought that was a cute story to share. What else can I tell you? Is there anything else I want to talk about? I've been thinking about different subjects that I might like to expound upon for anyone who feels like listening to me. I've been thinking a lot lately about the difference between courteous drivers and drivers who are not courteous. It's just such a constant source of frustration. The idea that people think it's okay to just drift from one lane into another without a signal. The number of people who are doing their damnedest to try to get a nomination for the Darwin Awards with my truck. And what I have to say to those people is, you know, everybody's got a dream. Keep going for your dreams. Just if you happen to achieve your dream, may it be with a fixed object and not someone else's vehicle. That's all I can say. It's like some people don't understand the danger that they're in their vehicles, and it shows. Anyway, that sounds really mean, but yeah. Anyway, all right, that's all I got. Oh yeah, and I didn't buzz my hair this year until like 2 weeks ago or something, and I just couldn't take it anymore, and I was like, why didn't I do this sooner? Because it's so much more comfortable. It is higher maintenance, but oh my god, it's so much more comfortable and cool. This summer has been kicking my ass. I have a really hard time with the heat. It really just wears me down. I feel like when I come back in my truck after doing an unload, especially wearing the FR clothing, that really just takes it up a notch. It like traps the heat against your body. Thankfully, I'm not working in Missouri lately. I haven't been in good old Missouri. I feel for all of you down there because it's got to be gnarly. But I still have been, like yesterday, I went from northwestern Illinois down to, I was in Muscatine, Iowa, and I could not believe how much worse it felt when I got out of the truck in Iowa. It was so much hotter and more humid, and it's crazy how there's like microclimates, like in different areas. You just drive a couple hours and it feels way different. So I'm glad I'm back up in Illinois right now, and I'm going north from where I'm at once I finally get loaded. Hopefully that'll be soon, because I don't like sitting around. I like to work, so hopefully that'll happen soon. But yeah, I've missed you guys. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm gonna try to put out even short videos a little more consistently, and I appreciate you being patient, and if I made anybody worry, I apologize. Don't worry, I'm always fine. I just sometimes the weight of things, the stress of life, the exhaustion, the existential dread that comes with being alive in the world these days for many of us is just like, yeah, I don't always have the bandwidth. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.